This is Dr. John Whitcomb in News and Nutrition talking about a troubling idea, and that is that our sperm count in men in the last 50 years has dropped in half. This is a seismic shift. It's a seismic shift. Now, a study has just been completed by Ashana Swan, who is a epidemiologist at the Icahn School of Public Health in New York, and she just called it, the title of her book is called Countdown. Read her book. Very interesting and very troubling, but here's the nugget. And the nugget is that our fertility has dropped as much as 50% in men because our sperm count has gone down. Why? Well, the wonders of modern civilization aren't so necessarily wonderful. The modern apple is sprayed some 28 times before it gets to your table. Goodness, there are multiple chemicals that have partial endocrine functions to them. For example, do you know that in the Midwest, the number one chemical we put on our corn to prevent weeds is atrazine? Atrazine in Wisconsin water is about 2 parts per billion. In the spring, shortly after the fields have been sprayed, it'll be 30 and 40 parts per billion. Do you know that if you take leopard frogs and put their eggs in 2 parts per billion, all the leopard frogs will growing up to look like girl leopard frogs? Does that bother you? That's one stark example. Actually, the Europeans took exactly that data and said, we're not going to buy Roundup, or we're not going to buy atrazine. And Monsanto stock plummeted. Of course, the German chemical company Bayer swooped in and bought Monsanto. In America, the government has to prove the problem with chemicals. And so we've only put a tag on about some 75 chemicals. In Europe, companies have to prove it's safe before they can make more than a ton of it. So we have a dramatically different direction. We have heavily in favor corporations' rights over your rights and your fertility rights. So your testosterone is down and your sperm count is down. We should be taking this as a clarion call. This is not sustainable as a species. This is not a political issue. It's a personal, societal issue. We will be extinct in another 100 years at this rate. Can't sustain that. Have to do something. Now, I know Congress passed a landmark bill 2 years ago, but they're only giving the EPA a chance to do 10 chemicals a year. We have a couple hundred that are probably problematic. What will work for me? Well, I took this really seriously, and I went to Great Plains Labs and I ordered Envirotox. And I found out that of the 19 chemicals they measure, I eat organically. I had 9 above the 90th percentile. I don't put chemicals on my lawn, but all my neighbors do. I took IV glutathione for 6 months, and I'm taking NAC every day now. And just to let you know, my levels are all down below 10%. But you better believe I stopped buying anything that wasn't organic. Please buy organic foods. Drive the market. This is Dr. John Whitcomb for News and Nutrition. Our sperm counts dropped in half.